This is a Kitzur Yomi. As we continue learning, we're in Simin Mem Gimel. We're in the middle of Hilchis Brachos and the very important topic of Brachos during a meal. We're going to be discussing, we already started discussing desserts, things you have to make a bracha on even during a bread meal. Says the Kitzur in Sif Dalid, again, Simin Mem Gimel, Sif Dalid. We said you make a bracha on Paris, but let's say that's your whole meal. Sheichlin imabas, you're eating the fruit together with bread. So then, they pattern. Even they're not on the table. So this might be a case of shal shudis, perhaps. All you're having is fruit. So what you do is have the beginning of your fruit with a little bit of bread, and then afterwards, you continue having fruit, and you do not make a bracha. Says the Kitzur, what about peiros hamushalim sevei litzarchei asuda? Cooked fruit to be during a meal. Note 28 says, in contrast, to cook fruit for dessert. K'moisher regilim levashel, as often as a side dish. Bein and basar, bein b'loy basar. If you have to eat them with ksas ma'ba'as, because it's be'etzem ha'safek. Ube'em ze yachlechel mehem gam b'loy pras ve'einoin tzrichin bracha. You have to have bread in the beginning and the end, and not in the middle. Note 29 points out another way to do this is make a bracha rishana on a raw fruit, not a cooked fruit, a regular fruit, which is clearly not part of the ikar hasuda. And that would patter up everything else. Here it goes. Baked goods, sukin kibin, sugar cake, tort, mandel kichin, almond cake, ucha daime, cakes. And just listen to the list. These are very simple cakes. Jam, sponge cake, etc. So if eating them because you're hungry, that's your meal, then of course it's your meal. But that's not why you're eating cake. A dessert. It's a safek. So the Kitzur holds you should have in mind to have explicit das to pater it, and then it's going to work. However, no 34 points off of the Bir Halacha. This is really not so simple. And as you're about to see from the next halacha, that this sounds almost like you're having these cakes a little bit during the meal. Let's say the next halacha, and then maybe we'll point out. After you eat the meal, it's eating in digestion. That which you avoid to eat digestion. We'll just point out that the Kitzur was talking about very simple cakes. But Zakra Moshe Feinstein, if you're having a very heavy cake, you're having a cake with lots of chocolate and filling and whatnot, then l'chayra, it's not going to be included in the suffix, and then you can make a mezainis on it, even when you have it for dessert, and even if you have it all the time. Simim and Dalin Mayim Achronim. The Akdam here teaches us that we have a pasuk in the Torah. That what? After you eat, you have to bench. And now we're going to discuss the Takana D'Rabbanan of washing your hands before you bench. B'din Mayim Achronim. Says the Kitzur Sefalf. Harbe Ma'kilim. Many are lenient, says the Kitzur. And why? 5 points out, because Lamaisa, the reasons don't apply. There's no Melech Sedaimis nowadays, even though we do have a Yama Melech, but okay. People generally make sure their hands are clean. But says the Kitzur, Aval Nachal Choyeri Shamayim, Lizar Bahem, to be made to be Zayir and be careful about this. Note 6 points out, the importance of Fal Salach. What do you have to wash? That's why it's your second knuckle. Lower your hands where you dry them. And the leader of the Zeman washes his hands first. We'll just point out, Yashiv on halachas like these would point out, maybe yeah, maybe no, but you follow the words of Shulchan Aruch, you're definitely going straight to get Gan Eden, Olam Haba. So Are there svaras to say nisht? Perhaps it's similar to Mishabura of Nagain that you wash Mayim Achronim. Ain't nothing gabi karki. You shall wash Mayim Achronim on the ground. Makom shabnei adam holchem, a place that people walk. Why? Because ruach ra could cause harm. Elito tachli oitachs Shulchan. Umenagi yad of dry your hands. Achlo varach v'chzamazav. Laftu ben atila v'chzamazav. You should not make any hefsek. Note 15 points out, very important, should not even talk words of Torah. It's best not to talk between Mayim Achronim and your benching. Sif game l'azar ma'pa lechem. You should not remove the tablecloth and the bread from the table. Al lachem v'sam hazayin. She'apas munach al shulchan. The bread should be on the table. B'shas berach zamaz. This is something that people often mess up. They clean up, and therefore it should not be done. And if you did, note 16 points out, you don't have to bring a brag table. Why? Because there's going to be abyssal pieces. However, let's say Yumamish cleaned off the whole table, then he could bring bread back to the table. Says the Mishnah, Brura, Kuf, Pei. Laharais, why? Because it shows I still have food. Such a shefa lechol haiser, but I'm still done, so I am benching. Amar Elisha l'mishar says Elisha said Kicham Hashem achol v'haiser. V'ayin misham nahar bracha in the shar davar reik. Bracha cannot come on something that's empty. El shisham is a davar. You want something on the table. Amar Elisha leishas avadia ma yish lach v'bayis. They took out all the kelim. They performed the miracle of pouring all the oil. We conclude with Sif Dalin. Once you remove the knives from the table, or to cover it, you don't want anything that cuts on your table. The tables be myrich your life, bringing bracha, and therefore you don't have the knife on the table. The koich of legima, giving food to gas, shamash shchina caused the shchina to rest. It says the Kitzur, many places in Shabbos Yantiv don't cover the knives. During the week, it's koich shal esav. Shabbos Yantiv in satav in pega. There's no satan, you don't have to worry about it. Oben Hagen Shal Yisrael Tairahi, says the Kitzur, a fascinating line to find in a halachic work, Minig Yisrael Taira, and therefore you do not have to cover the knives. Pick it up from here, B'siyata Dishmaya.